How's it going, everybody? So, this week I had Tim on, and he told me this story about how he saw this white humanoid creature by the woods of his home. And I've been getting a lot of these stories recently. They're actually really interesting. I'm not really sure what these white humanoid creatures are, but quite a few people have reports of seeing them. By the way, thanks to all of our members, we launched the membership earlier this week, and I'm actually really impressed with the support, and I just really wanted to thank you guys. If you're interested, it's only $1 a month. You can check it out over on challengetheunknown.com. And members get episodes 2 weeks early, and they get 30% off our entire shop. Thanks again for watching, guys, and enjoy the show.
Why not?
So you have a pretty interesting account that you wanted to share with us, and I am pretty stoked that I got you to come on. We generally don't really get a lot of these like white humanoid creatures that people see too much. A lot of the times we've had skinwalkers and that kind of stuff. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 skinwalker episodes since we started, but we've had the opportunity to do a lot more. But what would happen is the people would freak out and pull out last minute because they said that things get worse when they talk about it openly. But that was
Right.
that was more with the skinwalker thing. I guess we'll start with that real quick. What do you think that? Do you think skinwalkers and these crawler things, as they call them, do you think they're different, or what do you think? What do you think they are?
I guess from everything that I've read, again, I guess I'll say that I'm not an expert, obviously, but everything that I've read, info on it and whatnot, they seem to be similar but different at the same time, I guess you could say. Crawlers, I guess, I don't know. Skinwalkers, I guess, from what I've read, it looks like they, morph, right, or something like that. Like, they kind of...
Like a shapeshifter? Yeah.
Yeah, and everything I've also read about it states that, like, the more, like you just said, the more you talk about it, the more things start happening, and I don't know, weird things like that. And I also read that it's like a native thing, like a Native American kind of.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
So, me myself, I am part Native American. Nothing major. My grandma was 50% Cherokee, and then I guess down from there, I don't know what it would equal out to what I am. I never really took the time to look, I guess. But I don't know. Skinwalkers, I guess, kind of creep me out, but crawlers more or less kind of creep me out more, just because like I said, in my story that I put on the subreddit, I'm not 100% sure that that's what I saw. So I threw it on there just to see what kind of feedback I would get from the community, and everything was pretty positive. No one kind of, called me crazy or anything like that.
Always good.
Yeah, that was definitely a relief. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want to run into either of them. And another
Fair.
thing is, I guess you would have to have an open mind to really understand that, these things are possible, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Obviously, nobody knows for certain, I guess you could say. My fiance, she's kind of skeptical, I guess you could say, but she also has never had, like, a first-hand account with anything like that. She's more of like a, I got to see it to believe it type of thing.
Which is fair, I get it.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I completely understand her position on it, but I've just had so many, like, weird and just kind of paranormal things in general happen to me. Since I was a kid, since I was like 2 or 3 years old, I remember things from way back then. And just I'll call it the crawler incident, because like I said, I'm assuming that's what I saw from how I described it, and all the feedback I got. People said that that's probably what it was. It was the first time I've ever really run into anything like that. But I have had a lot of weird things happen since I moved into this apartment 3 years ago. We've been here for 3 years now, and nothing like that, that serious up until I think it was a month or 2 ago when that actually happened. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling.
Oh, you're good, man. No, you're good. So why don't we actually just start off with how did this start? What happened? And just take it from the beginning, man. Tell us what happened. Set the stage for us.
So if we go back like a year ago is when I first, and I didn't know what I heard up in, like I said, like I found that subreddit, and then I have just been obsessed with learning more about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it fascinates me. It's very interesting to me, and that, like, I've known of humanoids. I just didn't know that there was different, like, sects, if you will, like, you know, different, like, I don't know the right word. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, like a year ago, I was playing PlayStation with a couple of my buddies, and I was playing online. And it was real late at night. I got out of work at 11, so I would always hop on right after work. And this particular night, it's probably like 1, 2 in the morning, and I heard this, like, I mean, this like, just a blood curdling scream for, like, just help, right? I just heard, like, help, like, but in a woman's type, like, it was like very loud, and it was noticeable. You know what I mean? I had my headset on. I had, you know, the noise canceling, and I heard it over that.
Creepy.
Yeah, so it really freaked me out, right? And I was playing with my brother, actually, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I just heard, and like I got all like really weirded out by it, so I took my mic off. I kind of peeked my head through the curtains and didn't see anything, and you know, I wasn't really too inclined to go outside and investigate because I don't know what's out there. So I just kind of let it go, and then maybe an hour or so later, I'm back on playing still. And I hear it again, but like it sounded like it was right on my back deck. You know what I mean? Like it was like that clear to me. Like it was so loud. Like even talking about it now still gives me goosebumps. So I was curious. So this time I actually turned the light on. In my apartment that I live in, just to kind of give you like a field of view, I guess you could say. I live on the second floor, and I'm in the back part. So there's like a sidewalk that leads up to the staircase, and then the staircase leads up to the back door, where you take the back door up to the third floor, and then you can go down to the second or first floor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then there's a parking lot back there, and then behind the parking lot is where the woods are. Well, when I heard it the second time, I went outside, I went down onto the deck, and then I walked down the sidewalk and kind of flashed my flashlight around on my phone, and again, I didn't see anything, but I had a really, like, uncomfortable, eerie feeling, like, you know how when, like, you can feel something, like, looking at you, like, you just, like, sense it, I guess.
Yeah. That creepy, like, something's watching me kind of feeling.
Yeah, like, you just know, it's just unnerving, and I got creeped out, and I went back inside, and I got off PlayStation at that point, because I was, like, super freaked out, and I kind of just sat in my living room for another hour, waiting to hear if I heard anything else. But I didn't hear anything else, and after that, I just kind of forgot about it. And then you go to, like, about 2 months ago, a month ago, was when the first, well, I guess the second thing that happened was, so I'm sitting inside, and I smoke cigarettes, so I go on my back deck to smoke.
Yeah.
And it's late again. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning, right? And I go out there, and as I'm opening the glass sliding door and the screen door, I hear this, like, I don't even know how you would describe it. It sounded like a screech / scream / wheel. I mean, it just sounded. You know how I've when I lived at my dad's house, it was more kind of in the countryside, so I had a lot of fields and forests and animals around. You know what I mean? You hear animal noises, and you kind of know what you're hearing, not exactly, but like you know it's an animal.
Yeah. Right.
This did not sound like any animal that I've ever heard before, man. So the parking lot, the woods behind the apartment are pretty large. I mean, I couldn't give you an actual, like, estimate on how large they are, but they're big enough, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I hear it, right? And it's at the far left end of the woods, and I hear it out there. And I mean, I hear it taking a couple steps, and then I hear it like a growl almost. It was fucking creepy, right? And I, like, instantly, I just, like, even talking about it now, I'm getting goosebumps and chills. Like, I heard it, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I called my little brother, right? And I was like, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm hearing right now. And then, like, I'd hear it again. And, like, so what was happening, from what I understood, is that I would hear it scream, or whatever you want to call it, and it would take a couple steps, or however it walks, or whatever, right? And then it would stop, squeal again, walk, and then, like, it kept doing that repeatedly until it was about, even with me on my deck, if that makes sense. So, like, where I am on the deck, it was pretty much it could have been looking at me in the woods, whatever it was. Like it was straight lined up with me.
Right.
And then it did it even louder. I mean, it was like twice or three times as loud as the first couple of times I heard it. And then at that point, I was like, oh, fuck that. Like, I was, at that point, I was like, all the alarm bells are going off. Like, yo, you should probably get inside. I don't know what the fuck that is. But I don't know why I decided to, I decided to go down the deck stairs and go out into the parking lot. I never going to do that again because that's a terrible idea. I mean, I didn't get like attacked or I didn't see anything or anything, but when I got down into the parking lot itself, I heard it screech even louder than the other three times, however many times. And I heard the brush moving, and it sounded like whatever was in there was like coming towards me, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So at that point, I fucking ran right back inside, locked the door, closed the blinds, and then again I sat in my living room because I didn't know what was going to happen from there. And then I kind of crashed the living room window so I could hear it, and I could still hear it screeching. It was just moving through the woods, and then eventually it got so far down that I didn't hear it anymore. And that was probably like a week, 2-3 weeks before whatever I actually saw for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So that like kind of like was like a foreshadowing, like, oh, you're gonna see something soon, but you don't know it.
Let me ask you this about the sound real quick. So this is the description that I get from a lot of people that have really like listened to the sounds like more than once. They describe it as the mix between an owl screeching its head off and a woman.
That's accurate, in my opinion.
That's accurate? You think that's accurate?
Yeah, 100%. Like, when I heard that screeching, and then the first time, like a year before that, when I heard that, like, the scream for help or whatever.
Right.
I did also read that some people have said that crawlers, per se, can make that sound. Like, they can, like, they sound like a woman when they screech or scream or whatever like that. So once I put 2 and 2 together, I was like, huh, holy shit, maybe that's what it was. And again, I didn't put all of this together until after I had the actual encounter. And then I was like, I dived right into the info, but I would say that's pretty accurate. I mean, that's exactly what it sounded like. It was terrifying. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Freaky,
really,
man. Freaky
yeah,
stuff.
It really spooked me out, man.
But yeah, what happened next? So we're getting to the part now where you're going to see it for the first time, right?
Yeah, we'll get to the meat of the story. So I have a habit of well, it's not a habit, but I've fallen asleep a couple times on my deck, right? Like not like laying on the ground or something weird like that. Like we have a couple of like lounge chairs out there, so we can sit and smoke cigarettes or whatever. So again, I don't know. Sometimes I doze off out there, right? Well, it happened this night, the night that I actually had the encounter, and I must have fallen asleep out there for 2-3 hours. I don't know. I mean, I probably looked like a weirdo sleeping out there, but
right.
Anyway, I wake up and I don't even know what woke me up, to be honest with you. I just kind of woke up and I sat up, I stretched, and at this point it's like 3:34 in the morning, so it's just super dark. At our building they have these big like light posts, I guess you could say, on both ends of the parking lot, but they don't work half the time. And of course, this night only one of them worked, and it was the one on the far left side. So the one on the right side that kind of illuminates the parking lot and like the beginning of the woods was out.
Yeah.
But the moon was out and it was bright. It was bright as hell, and I could see the line, like the tree line, I guess you could say. But anyways, I wake up, I light a cigarette, and I'm kind of rubbing the sleep out of my eyes, right? And I don't know why or like what drew my attention. Well, I guess I know now, but when I stretched and like I rubbed my eyes out and I like really opened them, and I looked over to the right, and there's like this like the tall grass. In the story I put on the subreddit, I labeled it as like cowtails or whatever cattails, like the long.
Yeah.
That's like cattails. So we have some of those in the corner. I mean, there's quite a few. There's enough that where it like is noticeable, but my eyesight was drawn to there, right? And I look over there, and I just, oh Jesus, I see this like, I mean, it had to have been like 7-8 feet tall. I mean, it was standing, whatever it was, just fucking just like bone. I mean, bone skin, like just bone, right? It was just like maybe like
Super
a thin layer, super thin layer of skin. I mean, I couldn't make out any facial features, but whatever. The face did not look fucking normal, right? It was like a grayish, whitish, pale looking color, right? And like just super taut skin. I mean, it was just right on the bone, and like lanky ass arms. I mean, the arms hung down like. I mean, I'm standing right now. I'm 5'11", and like, I mean, the arms had to have been almost as long as the body itself.
So they're disproportionate body proportions.
Yeah, it did not look fucking normal, man.
Right.
And again, people could say that like, oh, you just woke up, you don't know. No, listen, I was awake at that point. Like, I might not have been initially, but once I seen whatever the hell that was, I mean, every like survival instinct just like kicked in like that. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it, and then, I mean, it was almost instant that as I looked at it, I seen it turn and just dart off into the mouth of the woods. Right? I mean, just, ooh, Jesus! I'm literally like just like getting the chills talking about it. It's really freaky, man. But I see it. Yeah.
Let me stop you real quick. We had something happen with one of our cameras real quick. You are back on. I'm sorry about that, dude. This fucking camera shit is getting weird. Getting fucking weird.
That's definitely weird, man.
like this is stuff I can't explain. It's the camera manually like it's shut the recording, like it actually sent it through the end record cycle. It didn't just like, it's not like you yanked the battery out while we were filming stuff. The first time it happened, it shut down, did a full recording save sequence, and then the camera shut itself down. Like manually shut itself off. And then this weird. Time, now it's telling me that the cameras are full and the cameras aren't full. It's, I don't know, man.
Too many weird things to just be a simple like technical glitch, you know?
Yeah. So, but we're back in action, man. Thanks for dealing with our nonsense there for a second. But go ahead and pick up where you left off, right where we left off. So so this is now you've seen the thing. What's going on?
Well, I think I was saying like when I seen it turn and run, right? So when I was standing up here on my deck, and I'm not too far away from where the woods are, maybe I don't know, 100 yards, if that, 50 yards, probably about 20. Not even. It's about 20 yards. It's not far.
You're close, yeah.
So I seen it turn, and then I seen it start running, and like I said, it was fast, man. It was fucking fast. It was faster than anything that I've ever actually seen with my own two eyes, right?
Moving quick.
It was like if I had blinked, I wouldn't have seen it. You know what I mean? It was that fast. So I'm watching it, right, and like this all happened in the span of like 10 seconds, where I first seen it and seen it run. So as I'm watching it run, right, from where it's standing behind the cattails, I see it standing there, and it's probably 15 yards from there to the mouth of the woods, and I see it turn, and then that's when it got fucking even weirder, man. Like I said, it was on 2 legs, 2 feet, whatever you want to call it. It was upright, regardless. 7, I don't know, 8 feet tall. I watch it turn, and it looks like a fucking like a gorilla monkey type movement, right? Like it's like it just, oh man, it just did not look normal. Like,
what was it doing with its arms? Like, was it dragging them low to the ground, or was it like putting them up to the sides?
They were like hanging like very like loosely, you know what I mean? Like it was just like when it started running, they were just kind of like flopping around. I mean, they were kind of like limp almost. Like it looked like, say, like if you were to just do like a really like just quick run with like your arms down by your sides, like flapping around, I guess. They weren't up. I know that because they were down. They were damn near like touching the ground. And then I seen it turn, and Jesus Christ, I watched it go into the woods, and I mean, I heard it just rip through the woods. I mean, I don't know where it went in there. I wasn't about to go look, you know what I mean? And it happened so fast, so I naturally am freaking the fuck out. So I go inside, again, locked the door, shut the shades, and then I'm sitting there, and I call my brother, and I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I explained to him what happened, and I tell him, you know, in detail about it, and then we just kind of discussed it for a little bit, like, what the fuck could it have been? I obviously came to the conclusion that it wasn't a fucking animal. It wasn't a human. Whatever it was, it was just, it just was, you know what I mean? I haven't seen it since. I hope whatever it is or whatever it was, I hope I don't see it again.
It's fucking creepy.
It kind of stained my opinion on the woods. I never really liked the woods to begin with. I mean, I like being outdoors and all that shit, but like the woods in general, like forests, it creeps me the fuck out. And now that happened, it's like increased tenfold. Like I want nothing to do with it.
I mean, you can never know what's out there. It could be bears, it could be wolves, or it could be white monsters.
That's just it. You just don't know. I mean, like there's just so much shit that we just don't know. And like you know what? I didn't even want to post the story because again, I figured I was gonna get some type of like, oh, you're fucking crazy or you're stupid. You know what I mean? Like just hateful comments. And that's why I was really hesitant. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, I know what I saw. I'm not making it up. If I seen it, I saw it, and it really like took a toll on me. Like. It freaked me out, man. It really spooked me. And like I'm 25, you know, I'm not a kid or anything, and like nothing really scares me. Not to sound like arrogant, but like I don't know, nothing just really spooks me out. But anytime like any type of like weird paranormal shit happens like that, kind of tweaks me, and then that just completely tweaked me out. I mean, that was I was completely sober. You know, there was nothing, no alcohol, no drugs involved, nothing. I mean, I just woke up from a nap on my deck and came, I guess you could say, almost face to face with whatever the fuck was out there. I don't know what it was doing. You know, I just seen it. It was like kind of hunched over. It looked to be like 5 feet, 6 feet tall, and then when it like completely like stood upright, when I looked like I said, when I looked at it, that's when like it looked at me. Whatever it was, just watched it run after that, and the run was just like I said. I know I'm not trying to be repeating or repetitive. The run is just what really freaked me the fuck out. That's kind of when I figured out whatever the fuck that was definitely not a human. And the arms, the length of it, like the whole thing, man, the whole ordeal, the whole incident, just really kind of fucked me up.
Yeah.
No, it still don't sit right. And this is like 2 months later, and it's still fucking freaky. I mean, I just don't know what it was. You know, I don't know if it's still out there.
Oh, it probably is.
I have I have gone out into the woods during the day, and I don't think this is related to whatever it was, but it is kind of weird. Like there's a trail that kind of goes into the woods, right, and then it ends probably 200-300 feet in. And then it's just brush all around. I mean, probably like 3-4 foot high at the minimum.
Yeah.
And maybe 50 yards, like if you're like standing directly straight, like off to the left, there's this like crudely built structure type looking thing. And like, I don't know if there was like a homeless guy living out there or something. Maybe not even that. It's just weird. It's like a little like makeshift shack almost. Like it's got like a roof that was once there. It's like old. There's very old clothing out there. I mean, I went up there and looked at it one day, and then it freaked me the fuck out. So I haven't really gone up and looked at it too close since then.
That's fair.
Just last weekend I went out there during the day, and even during the day, man, it's just fucking weird out there. Like I went in and I was kind of walking towards the structure, and like I just had that same. And it might just be me freaking myself out, but I just had that same like kind of really uneasy feeling, right? Like something's in there fucking watching me.
Right.
Got the hair standing up on the back of my neck, and at that point I was like, it felt way too weird. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save myself the trouble and get the fuck out of here. And I ran out of there. I mean, that probably looked ridiculous because it was daytime and I'm just a big dude running out of the woods. But I don't know. It really. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I mean, that's one thing that I've always kind of taken to heart. You know, if you got a weird gut feeling about something, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's the story. What do you think of it? What's your opinion on it?
I'm thinking, first of all, when it comes to trusting your gut, Worst case scenario, you're wrong and you're going to be perfectly fine anyways. Best case scenario, you got out of there and you saved yourself.
Right.
Right.
Nothing
But-
wrong with that.
But I don't know, because there could be a load of things of what this truly is. You could have the crazies saying that it's an interdimensional traveler if you want to really get in that territory, or you know, it could be an alien, or you never know.
That'd be a good one.
I don't know how big these woods are. I don't know where the woods go. So I could say that if it was big enough, it could just live there. It may not be the only one.
Right.
Or, you know,
I think that's kind of. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the more, like I said, the more I started reading about this shit, I read that like sometimes if you see one, there might be more things like that, right? And then that really freaked me the fuck out. Well, if that's the case, then like I said, I don't know personally how big these woods are. I mean, they're big enough, you know. It's not like just a little patch of trees. Like it's dense forest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what's out there. Even when I come out here now at night, which I really try not to, but I still smoke cigarettes, so I kind of come out here anyways. But even when I'm out here and I'm out here with my fiance smoking, like it's just like I just feel really weird now. You know what I mean? Like I just like it might just be paranoia. I'm gonna chalk it up to like 50-50 paranoia, 50-50 it's not.
Yeah.
But I always feel like there's something like just watching, you know. And it might sound crazy, but like after everything that's happened, like all the things that led up to that encounter, and now after the fact, it's like I just have a really uneasy feeling out here at night. And there's been times also, even before that shit happened, like where I'd be out here, like where either I'd be out here with my dog or my fiance would, and my dog would just stare at the fucking woods. And my dog's like, she's not like dumb, you know what I mean? I don't know what she's looking at, but like people always say dogs can sense things that humans can't.
Right.
And she always gets like, and I have a Shiba Inu, and she's a hunting dog. But we don't use it for that. Obviously, I don't go hunting or anything like that. But that's just the breed that she is. But she's super passive, right? I mean, she's never been aggressive towards us or anything like that. And there's been a couple times where we take her out at night, and like, especially one time that I did, it was like 2 a.m. And she would just, I mean, I would see her tense up, like her shoulders would go all like stiff, and like she would just start barking at the woods. And I'm like, what the fuck are you barking at? And then like, that's when I would get the creepy feeling like, all right, you know what? Maybe she's seeing something that I can't. Let's get the fuck inside. Just weird shit like that. And then that happened. And then like, now I like connected it all together, and it's like, well, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean?
If I may make a recommendation, whether you follow through with it or not is obviously your choice. But if you really wanted to, you could always try to catch it on camera with like a security cam.
Right, like a trail cam or something?
I mean, just like on the side of your house somewhere, pointed at the woods, because if it comes there once, it might come there again. Then again, it might never, see a damn thing.
Right, that's just it. You just don't know. But I did consider that. I just didn't know if that would be ridiculous. But kind of talking about it out loud, it doesn't really sound like a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Well, being ridiculous is subjective.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I could find something like relatively cost friendly and just kind of paste it out here and see what the hell. I mean, if nothing shows up, nothing shows up. You know what I mean? But if something does show up, then that's going right back on the fucking subreddit, and then we're gonna get some more opinions.
See what people say. I guarantee you, if it ever comes to fruition, 30% of the comments, if not 50, are going to be it's a man in a costume.
Yeah, no doubt.
Always how it is, man. There's always the skeptics that lurk around in the communities.
Right. It's just how it is. That's how it's always going to be too. But I mean, you're going to have the other side that believes it, and I guess that's all that really matters to me.
Right.
I don't know if you keep track of this, but do you have any missing persons cases around that area?
You know what? I never even thought to look at that.
That might be a good thing to look at, because if there were, and it was around that area specifically, that wooded area, then you'd know whether or not it's something that's aggressive or not towards humans.
Right. Yeah, no, wow. See, like, I'm very glad that I decided to go through with this. I've enjoyed it really, and you're giving me a lot of other things to look into also, because I never would even thought about that. But
Yeah.
now, as soon as I get done with this, I'm gonna definitely hop online and see what I can see, because shit, that would
Never
like
know,
you said,
man.
and then you can. Yeah, right. You just don't know. And then if there is something, then you can start connecting it to that, maybe, possibly, and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
that's a big part of it. You just want to find out. You want to get to the bottom of the case.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm definitely about to look into that as soon as I get done with you guys now. Man, Jesus, I didn't even think about that. I don't know. Any other thoughts, opinions, anything that you guys want to say? I mean, I'm curious to hear your take. Like, I don't.
The whole crawler and skinwalker thing, in my opinion, is very hard to kind of figure out because I don't know what the fuck they are. I know people are seeing some kind of creature out there, whatever it is. And I know that people are, it's like with the ghost thing. There's a lot of theories and just in terms of like light spectrums and why they exist and how it exists. But when it comes to like whole skinwalker thing, like the skinwalkers are Native American lore and there's not really a lot known about them. And then the crawler thing, no one really seems to have like a set, there's no consensus on what people think they are. They're just kind of these beings that people see and we describe them, but beyond that, we know nothing about them. And I wonder, man, when someone's going to get a really good video or photo of one of them,
I mean, it's bound to happen at some point, right?
Exactly, man. So it sucks though because of all the, the hoaxes whenever you get into these kind of genres of stuff and experiences, there's always people that are hoaxing stuff, which really sucks because then you gotta sort through all the hoaxed shit to get to the 5% of stuff that's like real,
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of this stuff even gets overlooked most of the time is because there's so much hoaxing and associated with a lot of these kind of genres in terms of the paranormal, the aliens and the UFOs and that kind of stuff is because there's so much hoax is that people just automatically assume, 90% of it's a hoax. It must all be fake. But in reality, there's 10% of it. That's some really weird shit, man, that we can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, exactly.
It's
just and that kind of sucks too because like you're just saying. I mean, it like poisons the well. You know what I mean? It's like there's just so much disinformation out there where like most people aren't going to take the time to sort through it, and they're just going to assume that it's not real, and it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I think it definitely kills the conversation before it even starts.
That's,
exactly.
Stuff like finding out the truth takes a lot of time and motivation and effort, and I also think a lot of people do that, whether it's one of the three or all three.
Right, or patience either. No one really has the patience to sift through all the nonsense to get to something that's actually, something realistic.
Yeah.
Right. 100%, man. Well, I thank you for coming on, man. That was awesome. I really enjoyed having you on.
Yeah.
And,
thanks for having me. I'm glad to do it.
Anytime, man. And you know how to get in touch with me, man. So, we'll definitely be in touch 100%.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm glad that you picked me to come on. I'm glad that I was able to. It was definitely interesting. I'm glad to get the story out there more because I don't know, and maybe other people have stories too that they just don't want to share because they're gonna think they sound fucking crazy like I did. But I had a lot of people that supported it, so it definitely made the situation better.
That's what we're all about, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for sharing the story, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.